Hello and good morning. Welcome to another video, guys. In today's video, what is going to be happening is I am going to be discussing / answering Google's top 15 asked questions or recommended questions about Moldavite. To make it more interesting, I'm doing it mukbang style. If you don't know what that means, don't worry. I'm learning about it too, and I thought it was super weird, which is why I'm doing it, because I'm weird. Basically, I'm gonna sit here and eat my lunch and have a conversation with you, and it's like we're pretending we're having a meal together. I don't know. It looks pretty funny, so I'm gonna answer these questions. I had my roommate write these 15 questions down based on Google's recommendations. I have not seen them yet. I'm going to be seeing them for the first time as we discuss it to make it more interesting. So, thank you for watching. Here we go. Hi guys. Welcome to Mukbang with Moldavite. I've got my little my little grid going next to me. Okay, so just gonna get right into it since this is super weird and I'm weird and I'll probably make it more weird than it actually is. So, first question. Here we go. Google wants to know, can you wear Moldavite every day? Can you wear Moldavite every day? Yeah, you totally can. I mean, I know I'm crazy about Moldavite, but I wear Moldavite 24/7. I do not have a piece of Moldavite on my person. That being said, a good thing to note is when you first get Moldavite and you're first working with it, just one little piece can end up feeling really intense as you vibrationally are kind of shifting into the vibration of Moldavite. So to have Moldavite on you all the time might be kind of intense at first. You may have trouble sleeping, for instance, if you're going to do that at night. For me, when I got my very first piece of Moldavite, it was very difficult to wear it in certain situations. I had to take it off when I went to work because, to be honest, it just made it really hard to deal with other people. It kind of triggered a spiritual awakening in me. And that spiritual awakening ended up being something that it was really complicated, like I said, to be around other people for that period of time. Not to mention I was a waiter at the time when I got my first piece of Moldavite. So I'm experiencing all this crazy stuff in my mind, and then having to go interact with all these other people, it was like all of a sudden I had to deal with their stuff. And I barely had enough time or mental prowess to deal with my own in the beginning. So, can you wear Moldavite every day? Yeah. Am I supposed to do this with eating with my mouth open? I don't know. Forgive me, guys. I'm just going for it. Yes, you can wear Moldavite every single day. There is no harm that will be done to you. You will know if you should take it off. So it's not like you're going to spontaneously combust into flames, right? It's not going to happen. Yeah, you can wear Moldavite every day. Next question. Yes, you can, just to verify that. Can Moldavite manifest desires? We're going to just go ahead and let that sink in for a second while I try and eat some food here. Yes, Moldavite can manifest desires, but let's be careful about the wording here. You manifest your desires. Moldavite helps you to manifest your desires. So, no, getting Moldavite is not going to literally manifest the things that you are desiring. What happens is as you work with Moldavite, it starts to crack open these kind of layers in you where you can start to see that perhaps the way to manifest something isn't by wanting it a whole bunch. And that's hard to explain, but it's something that happens to multiple people that I've known that have worked with Moldavite as well, where it opens your mind up to a whole different dimensional way of thinking. So you start to realize that the way to manifest things isn't by wanting, because when you're wanting, what you're putting out into the world around you is that you don't have it. So the way that Moldavite manifests your desires is it just kind of triggers a different kind of thinking in you, where all of a sudden you realize that the best way to have something is to have it right now. Be here now in this moment and be what this is over here. So if you know that you desire this house, imagine that you already live in it and then believe that you do. It all comes from belief. That's how we manifest our reality. And that is what Moldavite helps you to vibrationally shift to, like I said with the last question. It's all about vibrational shifts here. So does Moldavite manifest desires? No. You will be the one to manifest your desires. Moldavite is just a really great energy tool to kind of understand how to do that and to feel it more deeply. But yeah, my desires since I got Moldavite have been manifesting like 100-fold to what they would have been before. So yeah, it totally does. It totally does. I feel like, I don't know, it's just kind of hard to understand what the actual question is, so I'm just going to take it literally. How do you wear Moldavite? Well, you kind of just put it on, and like you could literally wear it anywhere. I think what this question might mean is, where should you wear it? But then I feel like it would be phrased differently. I don't know. If you know what this is talking about and you have a different answer than what I'm about to say, post it below. But how do you wear Moldavite? Well, as you can see, I wear all of mine kind of in my heart area. And that's just because this is where I feel it and I like it the most. Moldavite can work with a lot of different chakras. I find that the heart one is the most powerful, and I know a lot of other people agree with that that's what Moldavite is doing. So that's where I like to put it on my person. That being said, I have a headband that I wear that you've probably seen in my other videos if you've seen them. And I'll put Moldavite inside the headband over my third eye. Sometimes I'll do like a little ponytail thing on top of my head, and I'll attach some Moldavite there. I'll put it under my pillow. There really is no official 100% way. I will say Moldavite definitely works with the upper chakras from like the heart up. Not to blanketly state that it won't do the ones lower, but that's how you wear Moldavite. You just put it on. You'll feel it. I mean, it feels really good to hold it in your hand too. I mean, people wear bracelets. You just wear it. You just put it on. I don't really understand this question. I'm wondering what my roommate was thinking when he wrote this one down. This is what happens when I try to talk with my mouth open. Hold on. Okay, so what this question is asking is, how can you tell if Moldavite is real? The first thing I'm going to say is that I don't have the logistics to tell you guys, so I'm going to recommend you to a different video. The video is by Inner Vision Crystals. If you go on the YouTube search bar after this, or if you're really interested, you can check it out right now in another tab, or stop watching this, whatever. Search Inner Vision Crystals, how to tell if it's fake Moldavite or something. It's something along those lines. You'll find it, I promise. It's like the top video. And the guy's name is Michael. He's the one who works at Inner Vision Crystals. That's where I get my crystals from. I really trust him. And also the video, he's like showing you the inside. So it's something about there's like certain kind of bubbles in it. There's like a certain kind of pattern. So I'm not going to get into the logistics of that. You could check that out on your own. What I will tell you about what I know about how you can tell if Moldavite is real is when you search Moldavite on Google and you go shopping for it, and people are buying these big old huge pieces of Moldavite for like $200 or less, that's not real Moldavite. I'd say that 90% of the Moldavite that is being sold on the internet, like I would not get it from Etsy, for instance, either. If you really trust a certain shop, that's totally your call, you can go for it, but the way you can tell if it's real is often by price. If you look at it and you go, wow, that's a pretty big piece and that's not expensive, it's gonna be fake. No one's gonna sell Moldavite for that cheap for that. Moldavite, its value is going up, 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 up. So it's just gonna keep getting more and more expensive. So in that sense, it could be a pretty good investment if you wanna buy a whole bunch now. But it's not cheap, guys, so be wary of that. So again, Inner Vision Crystals, I highly recommend. I'm 100% not sponsored. It would be cool if I could get sponsored from that. But anyways, that's where I get mine. That's what I trust. Yeah, next question. Is Moldavite radioactive? I certainly hope not. But I'm pretty sure I've seen someone's video on YouTube where he takes like a, what's it called, like a Geiger meter? I don't know. It's like it measures radioactivity and he's like putting it over Moldavites, and no, it didn't end up being radioactive. Is that guy's video valid? Maybe his thing was broken? I don't know. I can't speak to any of that. Is Moldavite radioactive? I really, really do not think so. I'm gonna go ahead and say no, and then I'll also say next to that, I really hope not. But I personally wouldn't mind if I like grew a tail. I think that would be cool. So I'm going to not worry about that one, personally. I'm going to put these down for a second and eat some more of my food, because it's hard to do this and talk, personally. All right, next question. Does the size of Moldavite matter? Ooh, cool. I actually have an entire video on this one, which I'll go ahead and link up above my head right now. Now, it's been a while since I made that video, and I'm definitely more proficient with my use of Moldavite, and I'll say that there's a kind of give and take to this. So I recommend still watching the video, because what I said is valid, or I would have taken it down by now. The size of the piece itself doesn't necessarily matter unless that matters to you. So if you think that this piece that you're resonating with is going to be super powerful, then that is the truth. Now, you can make that connection with a small piece, or you can make it with a big piece. Now, I have some bigger pieces, I have some smaller pieces, and the truth is that the more Moldavite that I get, and I'm not saying you have to get a whole bunch of Moldavite, like I said, it could be just a small piece, but to me, the amount of Moldavite in total maybe makes it matter a little bit more, if I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Since I've got a whole bunch of Moldavite now, yeah, I mean, I really feel it a lot more. But that being said, it doesn't feel like one piece that's going to be like this huge amount of grams is going to be more powerful than a whole bunch of other smaller pieces of lower amount of grams that add up to that amount, if that makes sense. So having 10 small pieces of Moldavite, which are going to be a lot cheaper than one huge piece, you know what I'm trying to say? And this also, it really depends on you. Like, I really feel that whatever piece you get, you just click with it. If it looks powerful and you can feel it coming through the picture, if you're getting it online, or you just can't stop focusing on it at whatever store you're getting it at, you know, wherever you're getting it. If you feel drawn to it, that is going to be the most powerful piece for you. It connects with you. You connect with it. That's the way to get it. So, does the size of Moldavite matter? No. Especially if it's your first piece. I'm not going to tell you have to start small or you have to start big. Get the piece that you vibe with. That's the piece to get. So, yes, size matters if you're going to call like size maybe the amount of Moldavite that you have, but it's really not the biggest of deals. If I had this much Moldavite, when I first started working with Moldavite, I started with all of this, I probably would have had my mind explode, like, and would have died. I mean, not really, but I started with a very small piece, and that was very intense. As my vibrations began raising with it, I'll just start adding more pieces on, and to be honest, I'm just a Moldavite collector, so that's why I get so many pieces. I'm kind of obsessed with it. Does size matter? Yes and no. Again, maybe check out that video. It goes a little bit more in depth, but that's what I got to say right now. Here's a good one. What crystals go with Moldavite? I'm going to go ahead and tell you that I am not the best person to answer this question, because I'm a lot newer to crystals. I really like them. I really like making videos. I do feel that the information I share is valid, but I feel like the reason the information I share is valid is because it's real to me. So I'm not going to tell you what crystals do and don't go with Moldavite, because I haven't worked with them all, so I'm not going to talk about stuff that I don't know and I haven't experienced. What I will tell you from what I've worked with, so far, the 100% best is phenakite and Moldavite. Hands down. Hands down. You know, it's also really cool I really liked combining it with black tektite. I was really digging blue kyanite for a while. It works really well with citrine. I mean, a lot of people, they really like, and what I used in the beginning to ground myself with Moldavite is black tourmaline. There's really a lot of crystals that work with Moldavite, and the way that you could probably look at it is if you look at them as energy profiles, like actual tools of what this crystal is supposed to do, or like what you read online or what other trusted sources may say. You can kind of piece together this kind of energetic combo that you believe will work with you. Now, the thing is what I've also learned is when I got all excited about crystals and combinations, I brought so many different crystals into my life that it just became this kind of energetic, confusing mess, and it wasn't really beneficial for me. If anything, it was like pretty energetically confusing, to say the least. So I drop all the way back down to just Moldavite, and then I work my way through figuring out which are the ones that I really personally like with them. So this is going to have a lot to do with you personally as well. It's just kind of a trial and error thing. Don't be too scared to, to be creative and try things. But yeah, for me, what crystals go with Moldavite? Phenakite. I know it says crystals plural. I would also really recommend black tektite if having a grounding energy with you is going to be important for you. If you know that that's something that's going to be important, then do that. And I would also definitely recommend citrine if you're trying to use Moldavite to manifest desires. Great combo right there. I know we talked about a question like that too. So if you're trying to manifest desires, citrine, yeah. there's a lot to say about this one. I've got a lot of work to do with crystals though, guys, and I don't mean work like, oh man, I got work to do. I'm new to this, so I'm not going to tell you what does or doesn't work. If you want to comment below what crystals go with Moldavite in your opinion, go ahead and throw that down there. That'll be good for some other people to see, but that's what I got to say. So thanks for bearing with me on this. Man, I love orange juice. Whew. Does Moldavite break easily? Okay, so Moldavite, maybe a little bit different on the hardiness scale, but I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, that it's very close to glass. So the thing is no, I have not had any of my pieces break. That being said, though, I've never dropped any of my pieces. I do wear a lot of them, and I just kind of go out and do my thing, and I'm not freaking out that they're gonna like break or anything. I was pretty scared about that with my Bezetness piece for a while, but now I just don't think about it, and nothing's ever chipped, nothing's ever broken, and I get pretty chaotic with my Moldavite creations that I wear too. So I think that will also depend on your piece. Like, for instance, this is my biggest piece, and this one's like a solid like rock shape. So I guarantee you I could like chuck this at the wall right now and nothing would happen to it because of the way that it's formed. If you've got one that's more like a hedgehog type and they've got like jagged spikes coming out, or like this one for instance, it's got some like thinner like shards on it, then yeah, you could probably break the edges off more easily. But in terms of something like breaking in half, no, I wouldn't say that it would break easily, but I don't know. I mean, I've never cracked my phone screen either, but a lot of people tend to do that. So I think that probably depends on what you're planning on doing with your Moldavite. I don't know. I don't think it breaks easily, but I'm not doing weird stuff with it, so who knows? What could possibly be next? What chakra is Moldavite good for? Okay, this one will be pretty quick because I already kind of talked about that. So, Moldavite, I've heard from other sources that I trust that it can really open and unlock any of the chakras. That being said, I'm going to give you my opinion in that it activates from the heart up, mainly the heart. And in terms of going up, it kind of feels like it stops before the star chakra. So, and those are like the kind of the invisible chakras, like way up here. So, best chakra, heart, 100%. No question. That's why I'm wearing them all right here. It does go further up. Like I'll put it over my third eye, and I definitely feel some stuff going on there. But once I get to the crown and above, for that's when I'm using phenakite. So, what chakra is Moldavite good for? Heart chakra. Heart chakra, throat chakra, third eye. That's my opinion. I have heard from other people that it can work on the others. I really haven't felt much activation with that personally, but who knows? Maybe I'm just oblivious. So that's my answer for that one. This one says, how can you tell if Moldavite is real? But we definitely already answered that, I'm pretty sure. So I think you just wrote that down twice. I'm putting it down, so. What planet is Moldavite from? What? I have no idea. I've got no idea. I'm not even going to try to answer that. What planet is Moldavite from? I can't believe that's one of Google's top search questions. I wonder if my roommate really pulled from the top questions or if he just was looking up weird stuff. I've got no idea. I don't know. You might hear people talking about certain things like this, but if anybody says that they know for sure, then There's probably something wrong there. I don't know. I mean, we think we know where it came from science-wise from this meteor coming down, what, like 15 million years ago, or something like that. But in terms of what planet that would have come from, I mean, Moldavite is from Earth. Wait, how should I interpret this question? Moldavite is from Earth, but where did the meteor come from? I'm gonna just stop. I'm gonna stop with this one. Anybody got anything to say about that? Put it below. What planet is Moldavite from? Can Moldavite get wet? Yes, Moldavite can get wet. I get mine wet all the time. Yeah, I get, sorry, I'm just laughing at myself. I get my Moldavite wet all the time. I wear certain pieces in the shower. Sometimes if I'm taking a bath, I'll put a few pieces in there in the water, kind of like get the water vibing with the Moldavite. I also put Moldavite in my water sometimes, not to drink the actual Moldavite, but I'll like make Moldavite water by like leaving it in the sun. If you're worried about what possible toxins could be on Moldavite that we don't know about, then you can put your glass bottle with water in it, like in the sun, and take your Moldavite piece like this and just leave it next to it, and you could get Moldavite water that way. So yeah, nothing's gonna happen to your Moldavite from getting it wet. Yeah, nothing. Only a few more to go. Thank you guys for watching through this with me. This is tough. And this also feels really weird that I'm just eating food and reading Moldavite questions off of flashcards. I'm a pretty weird person, and there's very many times in my life where I'm like, yep, I'm crazy. I'm definitely crazy. This is one of those times where I'm like, yeah, I must be crazy. What the heck am I even doing? Okay, next question. Is Moldavite valuable? Yes. Riffing off of something we have already talked about, Moldavite is definitely valuable. Moldavite is very expensive. Like I said, don't go buying cheap pieces. They're not real. There's no way. Moldavite's value is increasing. I also remember reading something online a while back. Excuse me. I remember reading something online a while back that there's like a... Man, I'm not going to try to do an exact quote, but there's a specific amount of like diamonds, and diamonds we all know are super expensive and valuable, that are like pulled out of the ground, and then there's a specific amount of Moldavite that's able to be pulled out of the ground. And the Moldavite is an incredible amount. It's a lot less that we're able to pull up. Not to mention, the mines have been like closed now too. I mean, maybe they'll reopen them and stuff, but there's a very limited amount of Moldavite. Most of it's already been dug up. So is it valuable? Yes, Moldavite is very valuable. It's a lucrative investment in my opinion too. I've got a lot of Moldavite pieces here. I'm obsessed with it, so I really don't ever see myself selling it. But who knows, in like 10 years, it could be worth a lot more. Like again, I'm not gonna exact quote it, but I'm pretty sure that like in the last 5 or like 15 years or something that I read the other day, it's like increased in value by like 5 times. I don't know. You could look that up too if you want, but my answer, yes, Moldavite is valuable. Not to mention, value comes from perspective as well. The kind of power that Moldavite has, in my opinion, if it's valuable, yeah, Moldavite is the most valuable thing that I've ever purchased. And that is 100% true from my person and me speaking to you. Moldavite is the most valuable purchase I have ever made in my life. I think I said in another video recently too, it's in the top 3 best things that's ever happened to me, and that's true. But in terms of a purchase, it's the best purchase I've ever made. Best money I've ever spent. Valuable? Yes. Valuable to say the least. Very valuable. Okay, here's another cool question. How does Moldavite make you feel? Wow, I got a lot to say about that. So much so that I think I've got like 34 videos on YouTube about Moldavite now. So I'm going to go ahead and snack on a little bit more of here and think about how I want to answer this question, and then I'll answer it for you. How does Moldavite make you feel? Okay, so this can be different for different people, so I'm going to answer it in this way so that it's not a cop-out answer. Because like I said, I do have a lot of other videos on exactly this. So, that being said, how does Moldavite make you feel? Moldavite makes you feel like you are transforming up in terms of it's makes you feel like you are constantly becoming a better person, constantly growing, constantly learning, constantly shedding things that are holding you back. So the reason I say that is it always makes you feel like you're transforming, and you always are transforming with Moldavite. The reason that I'm not going to tell you an exact feeling, even though I have a certain feeling with it, is because every single person has different individual things about them that are holding them back in life, or things that they should reach out and grab to further themselves along on their spiritual evolutionary journey, right? So that being said, Moldavite will make you feel whatever way you need to feel to evolve and to transform. So for me, the way Moldavite makes me feel is this electricity, this kind of energy, this kind of awake consciousness. That's what it feels like to me. It feels like very stimulating in a way that no other stimulant that I've ever taken or had or any of that has made me feel. It's very awake, like everything around you is alive, like you are constantly vibrating inside. It makes my heart feel like it's exploding with this beautiful positive energy. It makes me lust for life in a whole new way. That's what it feels like to me. Why? Because how I used to feel before Moldavite, and the why is my opinion, how I used to feel is completely numb and just tired and no energy, no motivation, no passion for life at all. That's literally how I used to be. Just lay in bed. There's no point to life. What's the point of any of this? You know, everything's fake. Like, that's who I was. I just binge watch TV shows and sleep. That's what I like to do. So, how does Moldavite make me feel? Like I want to get out and go and adventure and be an adventure and constantly learn. So that is like what exactly I needed, that kind of motivation and intense energy and electricity. That's what my person needed to further themselves along on their transformational journey. What would you need? I'm betting that maybe that's what Moldavite will do for you. So it kind of depends on, you know, what area of your life you're struggling in. So yeah, I mean, Moldavite made me feel really uncomfortable at first. Uncomfortable with the fact that I was just laying in bed watching TV all day. It made me unable to enjoy that. It made me feel like I had to get up and go and seek other things. And I didn't like that feeling because I liked being content. But all of a sudden I felt compelled to go and seek more. And so I kept seeking, and then I started finding who I really was and my real passion. And then all of a sudden this eruption of electricity and kundalini type energy is what I refer to it as because it's very similar. I'm just awake. I'm just awake. So that's how it makes you feel. Makes you feel awake in whatever way you've been sleeping. I'll leave it at that. Next question. What happens when you wear Moldavite? Wow, that's pretty similar. I'm going to try and answer that in a different kind of way. What happens when you wear Moldavite? So I could tell you that what happens when you wear Moldavite is you start to feel a certain way, but I already kind of talked about how you feel, so I'm going to tell you my opinion of what's happening. So everything around me is energy. Everything around you is energy. You are energy. I am energy. Everything is a makeup of energy. Even if you're a scientific person, science agrees that everything is energy, okay? So everything is energy. That means so is Moldavite. Now, the way that I believe for myself and how it's worked for me, and because I believe it is the truth, it's my truth and I'm sharing with you here. Moldavite has a vibration that, let's say, is way up here, right? It's got a very high vibration to it. Me, I'm vibrating down here. I'm not vibrating as high as Moldavite is. I'm working with Moldavite and I'm wearing it constantly. The vibrational fields start to kind of shift and seek balance. I believe that everything is seeking balance. But because Moldavite is this physical energy that is just kind of created in, I believe it's its own entity and its own being. That's my personal belief that I'll share with you there. But because of that, Moldavite is at such a high vibrational level that it can't be lowered by me. It's like I'm beneath it. Like it's not going to be lowered by my energy. So what happens then is my vibration is forced to raise. And as your vibration raises and you come into becoming one with Moldavite, so many different things are going to happen. I'm not going to get into it. It's just completely mind-blowing. Like, the things that I've seen now, the things that I've experienced, the things that I think, the things that I'm able to do, feel, be, never would have believed anybody. So what happens when you wear Moldavite? Your vibration raises. What happens when your vibration raises? That's limitless. That's infinite. So that's what happens when you wear Moldavite. It's awesome. It's awesome. Okay, so I'm looking at the last question here and it says, can Moldavite get wet? We've already been over that. I think he must have been drinking or something when he made these. So that's all the questions. He just wrote 2 of them twice. So not sure why that happened, but it's totally cool. I didn't quite finish my food yet. I was planning on finishing it in correlation to answering the questions, but here we are. So thank you guys for watching. Those are, according to wherever my roommate got these questions from, those are Google's top searched Moldavite questions, or top recommended questions to ask about Moldavite. So that's those. I didn't really find any of those super exciting, but maybe it was at least interesting to sit here and watch some guy talk about Moldavite while eating food. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have an incredible rest of your day. I'm going to ask one more question about Moldavite and pretend it was on a card. Is Moldavite something that is just totally awesome that everybody should have? Yes. So that's where I'm going to go ahead and leave this video. Yes, that's my answer. Once again, thank you for watching. You have a beautiful rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.